Buenos noches, buenos noches. Literally, buenos noches. It's 6 p.m. I am using this as a microphone. No, but I wanted to be on camera, I guess. Because really, I don't even have notes for this, as per usual, but I wanted to be on camera and just yap about this year and stuff that I've watched that I liked, stuff that I've realized about myself, yada, yada, yada. I don't even know where to begin. Honestly, you know what? Let's talk about media first. For one, for the first time ever, I watched Sex and the City this year. And why is it kind of one of my favorite shows ever? And I don't know what that says about me just yet. I haven't reflected upon that. I mean, it is a show that bangs on you relating to it. You know, it's I can't necessarily relate to being in my 30s or 40s and being a rich white woman that lives in New York City. But some of the interpersonal stuff I can relate to. And I was like, okay, love this show. Currently on a rewatch as well. I'm on season 3, rewatching. And I was just like thinking about why do I love watching this show passively, actively? I'm on a rewatch right now. And I think it's because, oh my God, is this trad wife content? No. But I think it's because okay, so some personal side info, if you don't know, because why would you know? I haven't dated much. I am someone who's low-key romantic. I'm a Cancer Venus, Cancer Sun as well, Cancer Moon as well. We move. And there is this like deep longing that I have for romance. And I experience so much romance through friendship. So I really do feel like I am quite satisfied in terms of romanticism. Like thank you for that. The other day, it was last month, I visited my best friend who currently lives in Greece, to even say those words. She's studying there for 6 months, and I went and visited her, and we like booked a mini trip to like another island, and it was so beautiful and so romantic in a completely platonic way. And I have a lot of people in my life that pour into me, that I pour into as well. And so I'm not unsatisfied with romance, but in terms of romantic relationships is not giving. So I think admitting to myself that I love Sex and the City because low-key, they be talking about relationships a lot. I wish it was more queer. You know, there are arcs that characters go through where they are very strangely immersing themselves in like queer spaces and think they're queer. And I guess Samantha is queer. I guess. Yeah, because she dated a woman in like season 5 or something. I don't know. But I am bisexual, so it's like I can also consume the heteros every once in a while and like project onto that. And it was hard to admit to myself because I would say most of my conversation passed the Bechdel test or whatever it's called. But I do love, and I love watching people in love, and I love watching Carrie love bomb herself into another relationship. And like, there is something that really fills my cup when it comes to Sex and the City. So I thought that was interesting. Again, I haven't like deeply reflected on this, on what it really means, because I guess in a way this needs to stop happening. I know I just yearn for something that I don't have right now, and I yearn to. I think what I love about the show is that the frivolousness, it is the most important relationship for like 3 episodes, and then it ends. And just being able to throw yourself into something and be passionate about a person, and then be like, you know what, actually it's not working out. Literally every other, like, to be honest, we get on Samantha, we get on Carrie. Charlotte be dating out here. Charlotte literally, is this still recording? Yeah. Charlotte dates so much. Every episode she has a new man that she's like, I don't know if he calls me a whore in bed, and it's like, that does suck, but also I'm jealous. I'm like, these people date so much, like they get around, and I think that's what I love about it. It's, in a way, I guess it feels like something that I can't really attain right now, which maybe that's self-sabotage. Maybe I can totally be out here dating, but it just doesn't feel like a reality that is my own, to just meet people all the time that do pretty much fulfill your standard of like also attractiveness and intellect to some extent. Like the amount of not like cool, cute meet cutes that they have on the show, I can't. Like I literally can't. And sometimes I wonder, okay, I need to start, do I need to start like smiling at people more and not be so, and these are serious thoughts. Like I know this sounds a little bit silly, but I really am. I do believe that, you know, what you give out, you attract or whatever. But when I'm on my way to go somewhere, I'm not trying to like, sorry, this keeps happening. I can't anticipate it. And I don't want to swirl the whatever thingy around the whole time. So sorry that's happening. But I really have thought about it. Like, do I need to change something about myself? The way because when I interact with strangers, I'm not like rude. I'm pretty fucking nice. But it's just that I may not look the most approachable. Also something you don't know, but I'm going to tell you, is that I'm pretty tall. I'm 5'11", 5'10", and I'm like pretty tall. So I always get from people that I'm intimidating, which, is that a race thing? Like, are you calling me an angry black woman? I am, but mind your business. Like, I don't know. It's just this thing where now I'm like, do I need to perform? Is there like a level of performing that I need to do to get these things? Or is it just not meant to be? Like, is this self-sabotage? And it might be. But yeah, so that's something I've realized. I just love romance so much, and I love, and I love the show for loving love, but also at the heart of it, like the show, yes, it's about dating, but at the heart of it, it's really about these four women being besties. And that's my truth. Like, I think I'm recognizing that at the end of the day, I'm so lucky. I literally have incredible friendships and people that really care about me and I really care about them, and it's like so beautiful, and I can call them for anything and vice versa. But I'm realizing I want some romance. I want some love. I want some romance. And I want to be able to just throw away these men every once in a while when they're fucking annoying, and then go get drinks or get brunch with my girlies. Like, that's what I need. I'm 24, so I need to get on that. Like, that's a very like, you should start doing that for real in your 20s. But yeah, I'm low-key like aromantic. Like, I'm low-key so out of the loop. So that's something that I realized. I already talked for 8 minutes. Okay. Let's see. I'm also sick, so my voice is a little like nasally because I'm still recovering. I wrote down as well that I realized that I love hanging out with people. So I am an introvert. If we were to go with Myers-Briggs or whatever, I am an INFJ. I've taken the test so many times, like I know I'm an INFJ, which it doesn't matter, but like, just saying, that's me. I think it's like the old white man with like a wand. Definitely. But I realized lately, so I got to know this. Okay, so one of my friends, she works at this cafe, and I kind of frequent the cafe ever since she started working there, which was like, I think over like almost 2 years ago, maybe. I don't know. I actually literally don't know. Correct me. It won't do anything if you correct me, because this video will be up, but whatever. And through her, I met her coworkers who are like amazing, lovely, and we started hanging out. And now I've been like frequently hanging out with them. And I just realized I actually love hanging out with people. I love being in group settings. I love indulging in that, and frequently. That's another thing. Like, I knew I liked it, but there was a time period for like the past like 2 weeks where we would see each other for like 3 days in a row. And I realized I fucking love this. Like, I want to be around you guys and then go home and then see you again the next day. Being an introvert just means that I recharge on my own, but I have plenty of energy for people who are funny, for people who are smart, for people I want to be around. And that was just like a beautiful realization. Like, I love humans. Or here we go. I love humans. Like, I love being around people, and I don't know, I just feel really good around them. I don't know if any of them are gonna watch this, but I love you guys. Okay. So those are like personal realizations that I made about myself. Now I want to just talk about movies that have impacted me this year. And if we're being honest, you know, most of these I have watched recently. So it's not like this year, 2024, entirely. A lot of them I have watched recently. I only have 3 movies, bitch. Okay. This is a little ridiculous. Movies I've watched this year that impacted me. 2 of them, actually no, one of them I watched last week, and the other one I watched maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and the other one was early this year. Okay, so we have some diversity. I'm gonna start with the one, we're gonna go into the past. I'm gonna start with the one that I watched most recently, which was Funny Games, 1997. Let me actually read what I said in these notes. Hello, this is me actually editing the video. I realized that I didn't talk about the plot of the movie at all, so this is the letterboxd synopsis for Funny Games, 1997. 2 psychotic young men take a mother, father, and son hostage in their vacation cabin and force them to play sadistic games, in quotes, with one another for their own amusement. Okay, enjoy the video. Genuinely disturbing. The long takes and just general direction of this film was really unsettling and haunting. It's this descent into horror that genuinely feels effortless, but also all at once. ? At some point, the movie goes beyond what you might have thought it will, and from that point on, you're just frozen in time with the characters, frozen time with the characters, like any form of linear detection of time. What the fuck, bitch? Like any form of, I think what I meant to say was that time, you don't perceive time as linear anymore. I don't know why I said it like that. Any form of linear detection of time goes out the window. Can you tell English is not my first language? Once you're in it, all it takes... Oh my god, I can't read. Once you're in it, it all feels like a bad dream / nightmare. That movie was recommended to me by like a friend of mine, and then also I watched Karsten Rundquist. Don't know how to say his name. His second channel, he was talking about how Funny Dreams is one of the scariest movies he's ever watched, or like most disturbing, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, I've heard this around the block before, like, let me watch it. And I got so lucky because I was pirating, because I don't have all these streaming things. Like, for example, I'm from Germany, like I live in Germany, so Paramount or Hulu, we ain't got none of that. So I was pirating, and then lucky for me, the movie was in German, which I didn't know because the subtitles were bugging. Like the subtitles, it wasn't even letters. It was like a triangle, like hieroglyphen, Egyptian, what is that in English? Hieroglyphs? It wasn't even anything that I could read. So lucky for me, all of a sudden they were speaking German. The movie was so all-consuming the moment we started the egg scene, which, if you've seen the movie, basically there's a scene that goes on for like 15 minutes of one of the soon-to-be bad guys. What am I talking like that? One of the killers is in his soon-to-be victim's home asking for eggs. And he gets eggs. They're his neighbors, basically. He gets the eggs, and then he breaks them. And then he asks for another batch of eggs. And then he breaks them again, or something else happens. And then he asks for the last couple eggs. So it's just like this testing and pushing boundaries. It's this like weird prey predator thing where it's so unsettling, but it's such an innocent thing technically, but it breaks social norms of like, you've broken 8 eggs and you're asking for her last 4 eggs. We don't do that around here. And it's just, it was liberating to watch, but it was terrifying. Like, it was just so unsettling. And once they don't give them the eggs, that's really when it starts. But that movie I gave it 5 stars, by the way. I honestly, I would say I'm pretty loose with giving 5 stars, honestly. Like, if something shook me, moved me, I'll give it 5 stars. I'm not a stingy bitch. I don't care. Like, I can give it 5 stars. So I give that movie 5 stars. I definitely recommend it, but don't watch it if you don't like horror. Like, it's not even a horror movie. It's kind of more like actually, I think it's a horror movie because it's horrific, but it's more one of those, like, realism, slow burn, in a way, type of movies. Like, it's not, it's not like Scream or whatever. I don't know. And it definitely feels like a European movie, if you get what I'm saying. I don't want to say it like that because that feels weird, colonialist to say, because it's not, the director isn't European, I don't think. So I'm not going to say that. I'm actually going to take that back. But it feels very like raw, real, whatever. So that was an incredible watch, but also truly unsettling. Okay, let's talk about the next movie, which is, I have such a weird relationship with this movie because and I don't dream about horror movies. Like, I've watched a lot of horror movies and I can move on, or even if they do follow me into the week or whatever, after that it's a done deal. It's just something from the past, whatever. This movie, the killer, or the antagonist of this movie has found me in my sleep. Like, I have dreamt about this antagonist 3 times, and it's Longlegs. And I hate to say this, like, I don't want this to be my truth, but I have literally, Longlegs has penetrated my being. Like, I have dreamt about Longlegs. I almost feel like there is some weird part of me that has a lot of sympathy for the character of Longlegs, and I feel connected to the Longlegs. It's like really weird, but let me read out my notes. I kept it really short. Oh, we gotta move on. Now, if you know me, you know this movie literally ruined me. It's the blend of all things I find unsettling in horror. Home invasions, Christianity / satanic stuff, creepy, gross men, and ghost town / rural America. Listen, no shade to rural America, but even Bones and All, if you've seen that movie, I can't. Like, the nomad land, ghost town, like, kind of like, yeah, rural America. Ethel Cain is genuinely so haunting to me because that's my nightmare. My nightmare is, and I don't want to say, I sound really mean, because what if someone's watching and you're from there? Listen, I'm sure there's beauty to it, but it just feels so incredibly haunting, and like, where is everyone? Bitch, where is everyone? I live in a tiny, tiny, tiny apartment in a city, and I'm so happy to have neighbors below me. The idea of like, and this could be rural Germany as well. Rural Germany, my brothers live in rural Germany, baby. It's literally rural America. So I'm not trying to do it too much, but I'm just saying, particularly in media, rural America is always like, ooh, it's a little scary. But yeah, just, this movie is the perfect soup of, like I said, everything that I find really unsettling and everything that also affects me deeply. So I grew up Christian, and my mom's super Christian, still devout Christian. Shout out Jesus. I'm not Christian anymore. I just don't really identify with it. I'm still really spiritual, and I do believe that there's like a higher power, but I don't coin it God and he and Jesus and all that stuff. So that martyrdom, like someone being so devout to their belief and like so all consumed by their belief system is something that I have grown up on and seen on the other side. So not satanic stuff, but people being what to me is low-key too much into Jesus and almost like cult-ish things is something that really scares me because it's what I grew up on. And it is a great thing to have a strong belief and have faith, but like in this movie, Longlegs, when the faith is rooted in doing harm and committing harm, I literally can't. Like, I literally can't. Like, I literally can't. I watched that movie and it like stayed with me solidly for like 12 days. I think it's a phenomenal performance by Nick Cage and also my queen from It Follows, Micah something. I'm so sorry. Wait, let me look her name up. Girl, the fact that I just had to Google Longlegs. Oh, let me not do that. Wait, let me Google Longlegs cast. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. I'm on flight mode. What is it called? Airplane mode, so I can't Google. Because I didn't want anybody calling me when I'm recording this. Can't Google, but Micah, I think, is her name. She was amazing in that movie. I don't think the movie was perfect. I think it had a lot of flaws, honestly. I didn't really like how it concluded. I didn't really like the whole like doll stuff. I think was pretty, I don't know. I think it was pretty boring. I really would have loved it if Longlegs was just like this weird human but not like somewhat supernatural entity that actually could just get into your house without leaving any traces of anything, and like maybe his belief in Satan like made him like somewhat superhuman, whatever. I would have loved that because that would have been like that would have been just weird, but to have it be like the doll shit, I didn't really care about that. So yeah, not my notes saying I don't even want to get into it. Well, but the character Longlegs is still with me to this day. Shout out Nick Cage. Yeah. Also, I checked my synastry. My best friend checked my synastry because she knows I'm haunted by Longlegs. When I was in Greece, my best friend checked my synastry with Nick Cage. We have 100% synastry. It's weird. And then the last movie I want to talk about that is probably my favorite movie of the year. This year, 2024, which 100% without doubt have to be Challengers. Luca Guadagnino's Challengers. Wait, for 1 sec, I'm just gonna blow my nose because I'm realizing she's slipping. Hold on. Okay. We're back. Challengers was honestly, I hate for the like Oscar campaign or whatever. I hate that Challengers came out so early in the year because I feel like if it came out, say October, say September instead of March or April or whatever, people would talk about this for Best Picture. I don't care what y'all say. Like, definitely in a world where, and I liked Anora, but in a world where Anora is being talked about as a potential Best Picture candidate, Challengers should be in the conversation. Like, beef so fucking for real. Single-handedly, this year brought sexiness back. And I mean that in the sense that they didn't even have sex on screen. Like, obviously, there was no fucking, it was just like some heavy touching or kissing, whatever. That movie was so sensual and so sexy, which is Luca's bag. Actually, let me just read out my notes. Challengers 2024. I personally love Luca Guadagnino's work, and I always have. True. The only thing I haven't seen of his was, I Am Love, I think. I Am Love with Tilda Swinton. That's like the only movie I haven't seen. But there's something so unique and fresh about Challengers. It's not his, respectfully, in parentheses, familiar depictions of people along landscapes in Italy. I don't know if that makes sense, but you guys get it. Like in Call Me By Your Name, We Are Who We Are, or The Big Splash. But something cooler, more timely. It's that mix and blend of his style of romanticism that meets that posh, stern sports world of tennis that creates this spunky feel. It's still super sensual, parentheses, because that's just Luca, but it's also very juvenile and a little wild. I feel like he took some real swings, pun intended, with the direction of this, and it paid off. This movie single-handedly made me feel horny again when it comes to commercial movies in theaters, in parentheses. We haven't had sexy movies this year, parentheses, on the big screen, until Challengers, and there is no sex in it. So, Luca is one of my favorites because I feel like he's not concerned with being too structured. Like, he's very, or at least his work, he might be very structured in the process of making stuff, but from what we get as a viewer, I feel like it feels like a very flow state, very like sensual, very like simplistic lens and look at humans and how humans interact and human connection, and very fundamental themes, like very fundamental themes. And that's always something that I have appreciated, because his movies are very approachable, I feel like. And Challengers, I guess, in a way, was a bit more, I think it was more demanding if you want to have fun. Like, I think if you want to just watch Challengers and just be like, oh yeah, it's a little bit tennis, oh yeah, it's a little bit of cheekiness, oh yeah, it's Zendaya, oh yeah, it's men kissing, oh yeah, I love fun, that's cool. But it also gave you a lot to chomp on and dissect and analyze if you want to. And that's what I like. Like, it's not every day. It's actually not every day breakdown analysis. Low-key it is for some, and I'll gladly consume that. But I feel like his stuff is so approachable, and it's just like universal themes. Like, I just really like I just like his stuff, man. And Challengers was so refreshing. And I don't want to regurgitate what I just said in this like little note. But it was just a real feat in terms of movie making. Genuinely, if you've seen it, when we ease gently into the scene of Zendaya on the rock, sitting in front of them, talking about tennis. And I'm not even talking about the dialogue or whatever, just the way that it's shot and just the way that it's set up. I'm like, oh, we got a genius at work. Like, that and the score that is used in that scene, genuinely, and I've seen this movie 7 times in theaters, bitch. 7 times have I seen Challengers in theaters. Every time we get to that scene, it honestly feels hypnotic. It feels like my body gets to shut down and my nervous system like gets calmed down. I don't know what it is, but I have a real visceral, physical reaction to Luca's stuff. Another great example is like, I was gonna say Bones and All, which I love that movie, but no, Suspiria, the remake that he did, the scene where, if you've seen the movie, where one of the dancers gets called into the room and gets tortured, essentially, literally, and I don't do this, I'm the type of person to watch a movie like this, I watch it like this, that scene had me like this, shifting my body, shifting my weight, because I was so uncomfortable and I had such a physical reaction to that scene. Like, he gets it. He's fucking tuned in. I fucking love Luca. With that said, I'm very excited for Queer. With Drew Starkey, who's my love. He's my baby. But yeah. Honorable mentions are Dune Part 2, 2024. Robot Dreams 2023, but I watched it this year, and then Waves, which I rewatched this year. Yeah, those are fantastic movies. Dune Part 2, I have 2 friends that watched Dune Part 2 and said they didn't like it. To me, That's a character flaw. Honestly, I don't care who you are. If there's not much that you enjoyed about Dune Part 2, I don't think you should be watching movies. Bitch, pick up a book. Pick up a interior design magazine. Like, I don't care. Like, what do you mean? Like, you then don't watch things. Then literally don't watch things. Like, that movie, I'm not saying it's a perfect story. I'm not saying it's not a very simple story. But just even visually, I'm sorry. In terms of world building, are you kidding me? Like, Dune Part 2 was sensational. It was incredible. And the scene where Paul gets, or I guess, what's his name? Azue, where he gets on the fucking worm. It is Paul. Bitch, the way he wrapped it up, he was like, I'm Paul Judy's. His name is not Uzua. The way colonizer Paul, when he rides the worm for the first time, I was like this in the movie theater. Like, that was absolutely breathtaking, and I will not accept any less. I haven't even checked what they have given it on Letterboxd, but they're so fucking fake. Like, they're so fucking fake. Love them if you're watching. They're not watching. I don't know where this cough is coming from. I guess I should stop talking soon. Robot Dreams. I'm just going to wrap it up with Robot Dreams and Waves. And then I'll really quickly talk about stuff that I'm proud that I accomplished this year. And then I'll be done. Hello, editing me here. I actually will not be doing any of that. The video is already 30 minutes. And I just feel like that's fine. Let's just talk about movies in this one. But I'm glad I survived 2024. It was an interesting year, as for many, I'm sure. So let's just keep it at that. Robot Dreams was so... Actually, no, you know what? Honorable mentions, Robot Dreams, Waves. I don't need to talk about those two movies. You heard it here. I love them. Go watch them. Go stream them. Yes. Thanks for watching. This is the first video I've done in a while. And, you know, there's that. I hope you guys have a good... See how that didn't roll off the tongue. I hope you guys have a good evening, day, whatever. Yeah, wrap it up. My throat is really hurting. Bye. Oh my God.